Hello, and thanks for tuning in to the show that goes around the continent to bring you stories near and far. I'm Joke Rogers at Channels Television here in Lagos, and I'm joined by Vincent McCory from the Voice of America in Washington, D.C.
Well, thanks. I'm Vincent McCory at the Voice of America. Happy to be with you again for another edition of Africa 54. Let's start off with the latest from Nigeria. Joke Rogers in Lagos brings you that story.
The 5-year administration of Governor Buni of Yobe State has completed several projects and initiated new ones that will boost the state's economy. The projects include 5 auto-modern markets, 4 sesame companies, modern trailer transit parks, 14 mega and model schools, road projects, as well as the multi-billion naira international cargo airport. Channels Television takes a look at how these projects will impact on the lives of the people.
This is one of 4 sesame companies constructed and fully equipped by Governor Buni, while others are ongoing to boost the packaging and exportation of the product to other parts of the country and beyond. The governor also successfully completed the multi-billion naira international cargo airport named after former President Muhammadu Buhari. There are also 5 ultra-modern markets in Damaturu, Gashuo, Nguru, Potiskum and Gaydam, and Trailer Transit Park in Potiskum, a city which specializes in the construction of truck bodies. The new markets are expected to boost the economy of the state, considering that 70% of the residents depend on agriculture, buying and selling.
Yobe is an agrarian state and one of the states in the country where this type of crop is being produced. That is the sesame seed. In fact, all the northern belt, we are producing this in high quantity.
Like when President Muhammad Buhari came, his plane, I think, is 747. It landed here. So any plane can go to our runway, you will see it. Our runway is one of the longest in the country and even one of the best in terms of construction. We will go, you will see it. It's 3.6 kilometers long.
Other projects initiated and completed by Governor Buni are model and mega schools across major towns, as well as supply of reading materials for primary school pupils and secondary school students. Secretary to the state government, Baba Malam Wali, gives a summary of some of the projects executed in the last 5 years.
We have been able to establish 6 new model schools, 7 mega schools, 9 new girls' day secondary schools, 8 new co-education government day senior secondary schools, in addition for 1 for boys across the state. 1 IDP school also is established in Buni. We are undertaking new interconnected roads construction project at the Damaturu-Kalalawa 25.5 kilometer and the dual carriageway for easier access to the Muhammadu Buhari International Cargo Airport.
These projects are all part of the continuous rebuilding process in the northeast states following years of insurgency to help residents have a semblance of what normalcy looks like.
Joining us to discuss the 5-year administration of Governor Buni is the Director General of Media and Press Affairs to the Governor, Mamman Mohammed. Good to have you on the program.
Joke, nice meeting you once again.
Yes, so what inspired your vision for transforming Yobe State and how do you plan to achieve it?
It was during his 2019 campaign around the state that he realized the monumental damage done to education by the insurgents. And of course, he resolved at that moment to rejuvenate the sector. And soon he came into office, he launched a declaration of emergency on education sector. And of course, to the glory of God, he has achieved that substantially and education has improved. So also is the same story in the healthcare sector. Of course, today, Yobe has become a hub of health tourism. Among most of the northern states come for medical attention in Yobe State. So you can see that, yes, there is a great transformation in the last 5 years. The economic sector, of course, His Excellency constructed these ultra-modern markets. to boost the economy of the state.
And as you rightly said, the administration has made significant strides in restoring peace in areas previously affected by insurgency. You spoke about, rebuilding the education sector and other things. How will you continue to support these communities?
Yes, there is a very good working synergy between the state government and, of course, the security agencies. Including the vigilante group, that is the local security outfit we have here, and the people themselves. There is the resilience. People want to recover themselves. People want to come back to life. People want to rebuild the economy. People want to improve their lives. So it is an all-inclusive progression. Everyone is involved, and that gives the people the ownership now to say, yes, this is our project, and we are willing to sustain it. We are willing to be on the same page with the state government, and we are willing to move forward. And that is the good advantage this administration is having in trying to sustain the peace and security that has always and continue to improve in Yobe State.
And the administration has spent 5 years, 3 more years to go. What plans or strategies are in place to ensure sustainability of the projects that have been set off by Governor Mala Buni for continued economic growth in the state?
Yes. I think one policy of this administration is giving the people the ownership of these policies, programs, and projects. The people feel, yes, this is our property. They now own the property, they own the project, they own the programs. And that makes it much simpler for sustainability. And I'm happy to inform you that there are some international communities that have indicated interest to do business directly with Yobe State, with the people of Yobe State. His Excellency had visited some embassies and business communities who have indicated interest now to deal with farmers and the people of Yobe State directly in sesame seed business. And of course, the airport, the cargo airport has been completed. We have good roads now linking one place to another. We have good modern markets with fireproof stores. We have the government also established processing plants for sesame seed processing plants to make it of international standard and to increase the demand. Yobe State is a leading state in sesame seed production. And of course, you try to make up the standard, and His Excellency is measuring up the standard to see that, yes, it reached the international standard and requirements. And of course, that is why especially the business communities from Qatar have indicated interest to do direct business between Qatar and Yobe State. They will be flying directly to Yobe State to buy this sesame seed and process. Of course, it's been processed there. And they are most willing to continue doing business with the people. And of course, that empowers the people. You can appreciate the fact that it is now eliminating middlemen that have been exploiting them all the while. The international community are coming here to do business directly with them, and that also improves it has a value chain, and of course that creates a lot of opportunities and potentials that we will now see in the nearest future.
DG Media and Press Affairs to Governor Mala Buni of Yobe State, Maman Mohammed. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Joke. Nice discussing with you this afternoon.
We want to know what you think about Africa 54 and the stories we cover. Join the conversation on Facebook. The address is Africa 54. And check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com. After the break, as Angolan fishermen blame Chinese trawlers for declining fish stock, Angolan authorities promise to enforce stricter measures over unregulated fishing. Welcome back to Africa 54. I'm Vincent Makori in Washington. In the port of Benguela on Angola's Atlantic coast, fishermen and fish traders are struggling to make ends meet. They say their catch is getting smaller, and they blame illegal fishing by Chinese trawlers. For Joab Marcos, Barbara Santos has this report.
José Catessa and Pachi Sabino are fish traders at Tombas Beach, near the city of Benguela. They say they are not catching as much fish as they once did. They blame foreign trawlers for this scarcity, especially Chinese fishing vessels.
It is the Chinese trawlers that are causing fish to abandon our fishing zone to go far away, so it's more difficult for us.
The scarcity of fish coming to the local markets is reflected in the price, according to Sabino. 3 fish used to cost 2,500 kwanzas, he says, but now costs twice as much, 5,000 kwanzas. That's just over $6.
People complain about the price. It's very difficult. All kinds of fish, cachucho, Caribbean red snapper, sardines and mackerel are even more expensive.
Angolan law prohibits larger vessels, such as trawler boats, from entering protected areas reserved for artisanal fishing. And only Angolan citizens can qualify to obtain an artisanal fishing license.
When they notice that the fish are circulating more in the low waters, they move into this part, ruining all the investments we made in the barges. When they find the mesh, they drag everything away. It's too expensive for us. We want to be heard by the inspectorate because the Chinese ignore us when we try to talk to them.
VOA contacted the Chinese embassy in Angola via email to respond to allegations of illegal fishing in the region, but did not receive a reply. The Environmental Justice Foundation, a non-governmental organization that produced a report on the global impact of China's distant water fleet, says unregulated fishing activities often take place in areas where the fishing vessels do not have authorization to fish and target endangered and vulnerable marine life.
We're seeing the Chinese distant water fleet scooping out vast amounts of fish, very rarely for local consumption, much more often for international sale, which leaves local communities, coastal communities in multiple countries across sub-Saharan Africa literally going hungry.
The head of EJF, Steve Trent, says the environmental impact of the unregulated large-scale industrial fishing, if it's not properly managed, includes the near-term decline and collapse of local fisheries.
Those of us who used to fish here in the bays are crossing between large towns. We leave Benguela to fish in Namibia, so maybe in the next few years we will travel farther.
VOA reached out to the office of the Angolan Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources, Carmen dos Santos, for comment, but she has not responded to interview requests. In previous public statements, Santos alleged that Chinese trawlers are buying artisanal licenses from Angolan fishermen, something the fishermen deny. For João Marcos in Benguela, Angola, Bárbara Santos, VOA News.
The president of the Nigerian Citizens Association in South Africa, NICASA, Frank Onyekwelu, has announced that NICASA, along with all Nigerian bodies in South Africa, is working diligently to address and resolve the challenges faced by Nigerian students in the country. Our South Africa correspondent, Innocent Semosa, reports.
Young people gathered for the Nigerian Students Association's National Congress in Johannesburg under the theme Upscaling to the Next Level. Challenges facing Nigerian students in South Africa were ventilated, including the issues of permits. Frank Onyekwelu, the president of Nigerian Citizens Association in South Africa, NICASA, says talks are at an advanced stage with the South African Home Affairs Department.
Nigerians, not only students that had issues with their permits, study permit, business permit, ID or permanent resident, whichever it is, and we put our message clear that these are some of the reasons why some of them seems to be considered as illegal, because they entered here with a permit and prior to the expiration they apply for renewal and the renewal is not coming forth.
Meanwhile, the president of the Nigerian Students Association in South Africa, NANSA, also expressed confidence that these issues will soon be resolved.
The Nigerian High Commission is actually in talks with the DICO and Department of Home Affairs. As a matter of fact, we requested also, I think, by DICO to send a list of those students with outstanding visas, and those who are really students and those who have actually paid their fees.
NANSA Board of Trustees Chairman Smart Nobi has urged Nigerian nationals in South Africa to be law-abiding.
When you get to any country, the laws need to be respected and obeyed. Most of the migrants sometimes do not understand the conditions of this law. So Hence, we step in as practitioners to be able to bridge the gaps.
Some say the joint efforts of NICASA and other Nigerian organizations in South Africa in supporting Nigerian students in the country underline the community's dedication to supporting its members and ensuring their welfare in a foreign land. From Johannesburg, South Africa, Innocent Samosa, Channels Television News.
South Africa and Zimbabwe are among 10 African countries with the highest crime index at the start of 2024. Columbus Mavunga reports from Harare, where analysts say Zimbabwe's crime rate is increasing because the deteriorating economy is leading people to get into crime and drugs.
Peter Hapaure says he has seen conmen operating in his Harare, Zimbabwe neighborhood, pulling underhand deals and selling goods that turn out not to exist. But that's not all, he says.
The crime rate is increasing. Murder cases are rising. So I am pleading with the police to work hard so that citizens are afraid to commit an offense. Police should be respected and must enforce laws diligently, as it now seems that we are in a lawless country with people murdering others freely.
According to official figures, Zimbabwe's national crime rate in the third quarter of 2023 stood at 1,202 per 100,000 people, up slightly from the second quarter. The government reported 1,098 criminal acts leading to death or intending to cause death in that same period, compared to 958 in the third quarter of 2022. Recently, Zimbabwe's police force has expressed concern about a rise in armed robbery, some involving current or former members of the state security. In some cases, police killed suspects in shootouts or when suspects tried to flee. Albert Ngulube, who heads Parliament's Committee for Defense, Home Affairs, War Veterans and Security Services, says police are sometimes outmanned.
With the limited resources, they are trying. Our crime rate can't compare with South Africa. We are still better off in Africa. So I think our police are trying their best, although you have some people who always blame them that they are heavy-handed. All what we want as a community is that we want to have peace in this country.
Obed Muzembe, a criminologist at Muzembe Law Chambers, says Zimbabwe's moribund economy and persistently high inflation are pushing many people toward crime so they can survive.
And then secondly, you are looking at the social fabric. We have had a lot of migrations, people moving to South Africa, moving to the United Kingdom. It has created a society without parents. And as a result, young people are growing up without guidance and without mentorship, and they are bound to indulge in illegal activities.
Muzembe recommends that the government find a way to improve the economy and that the religious institutions and civic society do more to teach people good morals. Columbus Mavunga, VOA News, Harare. 4 years after we first told you the story of a young Nigerian auto tech designer and machine fabricator, Jerry Mallow from the city of Jos in Plateau State, is back in the news again with his latest automobile design, the Buni sternum. Jerry Mallow says his quest is to put Nigeria on the global map as a powerhouse of automotive design. Our correspondent, Chris Elams, reports.
Welcome to the Buni workshop, where innovation appears to meet determination. And Jerry Mallow carefully crafting his next masterpiece, the Buni sternum, from scratch. With meticulous attention to every detail, he ensures precision with each component. Jerry shares that the sternum represents a thoughtfully refined evolution of the Puri, which he built in 2019.
We designed the chassis in a way that you have hydraulic lifts in them that could lift the car up, so you have more ground clearance, just to give you more room to accommodate the potholes on the road. So yes, just keeping our cultures. Beni has a particular culture that designs the inspiration. A lot of inspiration was picked from the hare. That's the bush, the wild rabbit.
After countless nights of tireless devotion, Jerry Malu brings the sternum to life for its inaugural test.
You don't find companies that make everything by themselves, but at least making more than 50% of the part. And for us, in our case, we've made over 70% of the parts. The whole chassis was built by ourselves. The monocoque of the car was built by ourselves. The body of the car, the suspension system, the hydraulic systems were all built in-house. A good number of the electrical parts in the vehicle were all built by ourselves.
A product of relentless hard work and boundless imaginative spirit. Jerry says his goal is to put Nigeria on the global map as a hub for automotive excellence. But he believes technology deployment is crucial to achieve this and streamline processes. Jerry Malu, like many countless young Nigerians, long for a country where talent is nurtured and innovation thrives. He, however, acknowledges that the government has a pivotal role to play in this journey.
There would, in no time, almost be no limits to the ripple effect of good products that will be coming out as a result of these centers the government put into place.
In 2019, Channels Television highlighted Jerry's remarkable journey with the creation of the Beni Puri. Today, with the sternum, he envisions an even brighter future with so many possibilities, with the right support and recognition. Chris Elems, Channels Television News.
Limited medical resources in Africa force some patients to travel abroad for specialized surgeries. Now, a new special surgery institute has opened in Ghana to try and help. Sinanu Todd reports from Accra, Ghana.
In Accra, medical experts from the US are performing a special cancer removal surgery for a kidney patient. The procedure is minimally invasive and uses cameras and robots, and until recently was unavailable in this part of the world.
That one couldn't have been done here. They already referred the guy outside, so he already had his visa and everything, and then someone told him about this place.
This place is the West African Institute for Special Surgery, or WISE. It opened in March to cater to specialty surgery needs in West Africa and beyond. Dr. Kofi Boahene, a native of Ghana, is a head and neck surgeon, facial plastic and reconstructive surgeon at Johns Hopkins Hospital in the US. In 2004, he set up his Foundation for Special Surgery, or FSS, to provide specialized medical care to people where they live.
People from all over the world will come and see me in the US. I'm able to 2 hours change their lives. I take a plane, it takes 9 hours, 10 hours to fly to Ghana. Same situation, clinical situation, that person may lose their eyesight or may lose their life.
For this reason, Dr. Boahene and the FSS built the West African Institute for Special Surgery. He says the center will bring globally trained health professionals to Ghana.
In neurosurgery, in plastic surgery, in head and neck surgery, in ear surgery, in urology, the highest level of specialists are all congregating here.
Medical professionals from Ghana and across Africa can train and practice with these global experts and equipment.
Here I get to see robotic surgery. Yes, it's going to be the first in the country. So I get to see that. And that's awesome. That's pretty cool, using robots to, fix things. So yeah.
Dr. Boahene says the institute will bill patients who ordinarily would have traveled overseas. However, for patients who cannot afford care, the institute will raise money from friends, family, donors, and former patients abroad, just as they have done for his Foundation for Special Surgery. Sena Nutot, VOA News, Accra, Ghana.
Well, and that's our show for today. You can find all the continent's top news and world news online at voaafrica.com. Check it out. I'm Vincent McCory in Washington. Channels Television has our last word.
We look forward to bringing you another show next week. To remember that channelstv.com is your source for news and other programming. I'm Joker Rogers. Thanks for watching and goodbye.